What the heck? Every time this two-wheel pursuit guy makes a new video, he's on a new freaking bike. This guy can't stick to one bike for more than 3 months. What the? Oh, that feels super good going into the corner. Even with these off-road knobbies. Get over? Are we gonna... There we go. You got it. Okay, well, yeah. Well, what's up, everyone? It's brand new Ducati owner, two-wheel pursuit here once again. Well, not brand new Ducati, new to me. And this is the Ducati Multistrada 1200 Enduro. Speedometer's not right. It shows faster than I'm actually going. That is not right, just so we're clear. I am not speeding. Just so we're... I mean, I'm maybe speeding like 5 over, but it's not that much. It's not as much as it's indicating, okay? Let me just be clear. So this is my new bike, Ducati 2016 Multistrada Enduro 1200. I think we only made the Enduro as the 1200. I don't think we did the 900. You know what I can do is bump up this windshield to hopefully eliminate some more wind noise here. I don't know if that actually did anything at all. Oh, those brakes feel so good. Linked brakes, by the way, so as soon as I pull in the front brake, it activates like 20% of the rear brake or something like that. Technology. And speaking of technology, that's a lot of what I'm going to talk about in this video, because holy crap, I have said multiple times in the past, really spoken kind of against technology in motorcycles. Only motorcycle I can think that I've had that actually had any technology in it was the ZX-10R, and that was cool because, yeah, you know, I mean, you have a 200 horsepower motorcycle, like, you might want to, you know, sometimes dumb it down a little bit, right? You might want to, maybe a little ABS in there, maybe a few safety precautions, a little bit of traction control in case, you know, it's raining out, something like that. However, aside from that, I kind of have always leaned more towards the raw, unfiltered, unaltered side of motorcycling. I've kind of been against electronics on motorcycles. This bike right here totally has changed my mind on that. I'm going to get into some of the specific electronics that this bike has, but a little bit later on. But I will say that the amount of electronics in this bike is insane. It's far more than anything that I've had before on any bike. Look at this, we got cruise control. If it'll turn on. What the? Oh, there we go. It is on. Alright, hold on. Here we go. Activates there. Cruise set at 73. And look, I can relax my right hand. What the hell? That's so cool. I'm just cruising along here. So let's, you know, we're just cruising along, literally cruising, cruise control on the highway. Let me take a little while and talk a bit about why I picked up this bike. So for those of you who don't know, two bikes that I've had now for, you know, just, you know, power comes on, any gear, anywhere you need it. Variable valve timing technology, VVT or whatever. Great power. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The reason I got this bike I have a Harley Davidson Sportster 48 and a Honda CRF 300L. And listen, where I live, sure, the Honda CRF is a great bike, really great bike, very impressed with it. However, there are not a whole lot of places you can really push that bike to its limits where I live. It's just not something. We don't have motorcycle trails around. You're gonna get in trouble. It's just inevitable, and you shouldn't do it anyway, because quite frankly it's illegal, and anything illegal you shouldn't do, because you should follow the law. You should follow all the laws all the time, and that is that. This is not legal advice, but follow the laws. Anyway, so I started looking around because I knew that I sort of liked the cruising style, the relaxed feeling of the Harley Davidson, and I also liked some of the off-road and, you know, more the capability to basically go wherever you want, any type of terrain, any type of situation that you get into, really not have a problem going over bumps, going over, I mean, any of you who live in New England know we got some pretty serious potholes, so having something that can handle the potholes with ease, even riding on the road. But I really wanted something that was going to be versatile, I would say is the word I'm looking for. Something versatile, something that I could do a lot of stuff with, and also something that I could do some touring with. You know, I wanted cruise control on it, I wanted heated grips, some nice big windscreen, which I have here, something with a really comfy seat, plenty of luggage capacity, and I started looking around at a few different bikes. First one I looked at was the Honda Africa Twin. Good bike, but not really built for two-up riding, in my opinion, which is something that I wanted to have the capability to do. And also, it's the least powerful motorcycle of the bunch, even less powerful than the Yamaha Super Tenere, which is the next bike that I'll talk about. The Super Tenere, I was real close to getting. That was the one that I was like settled in on. I thought I was zeroed in on that bike, and you know, actually it has more power than the Honda, more reliable, shaft driven, and people take them around the world. They're a great bike. Maybe a little bit lacking in the power, you could argue, but really great bike. And frankly, I thought it felt really premium when I test rode one. I was surprised by how good it felt. That parallel twin really just puts out nice, smooth power. Fort9 does a great video on the Super Tenere that if you guys want to check out and learn more about that. He does a really good job, not sugarcoating any part of it, but really just doing a good job explaining why it's not the best bike, but why it is certainly a very good adventure touring bike. So I continued my search. Not gonna lie, I went down that BMW route for a while. BMW R1200 or R1250 GS Adventure. Really amazing bike. And super expensive also. You know, I mean, it's okay. If that's what you're looking for, I think that I think it's a great bike. I test rode it. I was amazed by how good it felt. It felt so refined. However, I just couldn't find one at the price point I was looking for, and I will tell you guys what I got this Ducati for in a few minutes, which you're going to be surprised. So anyway, I'm looking around at all these bikes, and I'm really trying to narrow in on what I'm going to get. I have a pretty good idea of what I want, and it's just looking at the different bikes, trying to find a good deal on one. And all of a sudden, I sort of, you know, veer off the path a little ways, looking at Ducati. Looking specifically at the new Multistrada V4, which way out of my price range, but beautiful bike. Not really off-road oriented at all, but if we go back to, you know, a few years ago, 2016 to 2019, I believe is when they made it, the Ducati Multistrada Enduro, which I'm on right now. Looked into this bike a bit more, and I was quite impressed with it. I was quite impressed with what I saw in reviews. I couldn't find one of these bikes to go test ride, so I ended up just basically, I found one, popped up, remarkably good deal. The guy was asking $7,500 for it on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm already like, holy crap, that's like half of what that bike's probably worth. That's a remarkably good deal, right? Even with the 48,700 miles on this bike. Now, I got it at an even better deal because I talked to the gentleman and he was throwing in some extras like a tall seat, which I absolutely don't need because I'm a short guy. And so I basically made the deal with him. I talked back and forth with him. He had full service records since 0 miles, full service records for this bike. Full everything he was trying to throw with it. It comes with full set of Touratech luggage, Ducati branded Touratech luggage, has a full crash protection. Basically every option you could get on this bike, this guy had. And I was like, holy crap. Oh, that feels really good. What the? I keep hitting that false neutral going into fifth. I think I'm just being a little too lazy. The shifter's a little bit weird. I'm getting used to it still. Anyway. So I tell this guy, I'll tell you what, you keep the tall seat because I don't even want that. And 60, what I think we said 6,700, 6,800, and he agreed to that. And I went the next day and picked the bike up, and that is that. I now own a Ducati. And I have to say, I'm quite happy with it. I'm really, really impressed. I've done a little bit of off-roading with it so far. Obviously, with it being the Enduro model, that was something I was looking for, to have a bit of that capability. And let's be honest, none of these big adventure touring bikes are really meant for off-roading, but this is where the technology comes in, right? You have internal measurement unit, which measures like all the different angles and stuff, giving the bike computer real-time feedback for traction control, wheelie control. This bike has specific off-road modes that are basically almost entirely customizable. Everything you will have electronically on this bike, fully customizable. Suspension, it has active Ducati Skyhook suspension, which basically you set it up how you want it, how you want the characteristics to be. However, I think it's like every 1/10 of a second, the Skyhook suspension is actively adjusting the suspension to keep the wheel in contact with the road as much as possible, as often as possible. Which is, I mean, it just works flawlessly. It makes no sense. It works so well. So all the technology on this bike really kind of ties it together and actually makes it way more capable off-road. It feels like nearly as good to me, at least on the off-roading I can do around here. It feels nearly as good to me, if not better, frankly, than my CRF 300, which makes no sense at all. But it just feels really good. It holds the traction, and when it starts to lose traction, it's like magic. It picks it up for you. So while we're out here stuck behind this guy, talk a bit about some of the reasons I'm really happy I went with this bike over some of the competitors. First of all, this bike is coming in at, I think, 160 horsepower, either 150 or 160, and something like 100 pound-feet of torque. Insane, right? Maybe 80 or 90 pound-feet of torque. Is between 80 and 100, I know that. Absolutely insane, right? It makes no sense. And when you compare this to literally any of the other sort of adventure touring bikes, except for the KTM. The KTM makes a lot of power, but I'm not a KTM guy. besides the KTM, the power this bike makes blows any of the other bikes out of the water. I mean, it is insane how much of a difference it is. I can tell you that from experience because I rode all of them except for the KTM because I wasn't interested in the KTM. So having that extra power, especially on the highway, and quite frankly, you're going to be spending a lot of time on the highway if you own one of these bikes. Let's be honest, you're not buying this to like exclusively off-road. I think that's what a lot of people trick themselves into thinking. It's like people who own, you know, the Jeeps with the big lift kits and the huge tires. No offense if you're one of those people, I think they're really cool, but let's be honest, you're probably spending most of your time driving down the highway like a typical person would in an ordinary vehicle. So I think that's what this bike does really well. It basically is something that works really well off-road, and also above all else, like, you have the power, the stability, and the different modes that you can really ride it on the highway just as comfortably as a street glide or something like that. It is remarkably well made for going long distance. The maintenance, like I said, has all been kept up on, and I'm not sure if I mean, the maintenance on the Ducati is actually less demanding than the BMW. The valve service is almost twice as long than the BMW, and as far as oil changes, they say for oil changes on this Ducati every 9,000 miles, which to me is insane. I will not be doing that. However, you know, it's cool that if you want to, that's what they stand by, that's what they say, right? Ducati is owned by Audi, I guess, and I guess they just really are trying to push the reliability as far as they can. We're gonna hit some of these dirt roads out here and show you guys what I'm talking about when this bike gets into the dirt. Also really great high handlebars, great, you can easily stand up on this bike and be riding along off-road, no problem. This is the entrance, right? Yep. Alright, so go ahead and pull over right here. We don't even need to pull over, you can do this while you're riding, but I just want to show you guys. Alright, so we go into the menu here. For the different modes, you have Sport, Touring, Urban, and Enduro, and you can see in here then you have all these, the engine mode, traction control, ABS, wheelie control, and then the front rear suspension, how stiff or soft, and then the preload. Now I am going to go ahead and put it into Enduro mode. See ABS Enduro and Ducati traction control Enduro. And you can change that again actually while you're riding. You don't need to stop, but right there I can actually feel the suspension got a bit softer. Yeah, it just makes no sense. It grips the road so well, even in these dirt conditions where we'll get into some lighter sand and whatnot, but it makes no sense. It just soaks up the bumps. How it's putting that much power down. And so when you put it into Enduro mode also, you can put it in a mode where it cuts it down to 100 horsepower instead of whatever, I think 160. And you know, that's nice because you literally are never going to need 160 horsepower off-road. You're insane if you do. I mean, look at that. Leaning it over on these dirt roads is no problem with that traction control. Even on some of the more sketchy stuff right here. Right, some gravel, no problem. Oh, you can't help but laugh. It just makes no sense. Well, electronic rider aids are just so good. It's like you can tell that it knows, it's calculating everything. You just, as soon as you start sliding out, it allows you to slide out a little bit, but it's not going to let you do it too much. Really makes no sense. And obviously, so you know, if you're on like this Honda CRF I have, you have no rider aids at all, so you're doing everything there, all the small adjustments yourself, whereas this bike is really going to save you. And I mean, you do kind of, I mean, it helps. It's a 700-pound bike, right? Like, how the hell am I doing this on a 700-pound bike with full luggage right now? It makes no sense. The suspension just soaking everything up. This feels literally better than my CRF on this type of road. And calling this a road is a push. I'm not sure if you could really call this a road. That was so much fun. Well, Ducatis are usually known for sort of being pretty high in terms of vibration. Whatever they've done to this bike, whatever engineering, it's really not feeling the vibration much at all. Oh yeah. It feels like something out of Star Wars. Like it feels like what I imagine a speeder would feel like from Star Wars. It makes no sense. You really is so confidence inspiring. You feel like you can go over basically any terrain, and yeah, you know, you want to pick your lines. But look, I'm just going over these bumps like nothing. Probably could turn off the traction control. I mean the cruise control. I don't think we're going to be activating that anytime soon here. With ease. You can feel it's breaking the traction, but all the electronics are constantly working to keep you from going down. I mean, this is the type of road I'm not sure if I would... Oh, it's a vehicular device. Let's see if we can... God bless, brother. Yep, see, couldn't have done that if it was a car going in that direction. Worked out. Just gotta be aware of those big luggage racks there behind me. I'm not necessarily used to it, but really the size is not that much different. If you look like, if your handlebar is going to get around it, the luggage is probably going to get around it too. I think a lot of people overthink that more than they need to. Let's go ahead and pull in here and take a quick look at it off the bike. Also fully electronic, just push of a button here, and then also electronic fork stem lock, so when you turn it all the way, key press to lock. There we go. Just have the key fob in my pocket. Well, there she is. She's already quite dirty, I would say. But so we got this nice Ducati branded Touratech rear pannier, and then the two side ones here. Really, I mean, look, this is a normal size water bottle to give you context for how big this is. Makes no sense. To me, something that I've come to appreciate much more, especially recently as I've been riding, is practicality in motorcycles, right? So you can take this basically grocery shopping, do a full grocery run, and just put stuff back there. Here's the front of it. Also got this aftermarket headlight protector, which is nice because these headlights are quite expensive, and they do have the active side lighting, or whatever it's called. Basically, if you're turning to the side, the bike detects it, and it'll shoot a light through pointing to whatever side you're turning, which is really, really crazy. It's a weird experience the first time you deal with something like that. Got the built-in turn signals up here. Touratech crash protection with the auxiliary lighting down here. Got the center stand. Scott oiler, basically an automatic chain lubricant mechanism. I can't believe that I own Ducati. It's funny too, because like I used to look at these bikes and not really understand why people got them. I totally get it now. You absolutely do not need the power. This is 160 horsepower. You're not going to need more than 100. 160 is enough to keep you entertained. And even hit the twisties, do whatever, and yet you have the practicality of this. You can carry these super big bags on it. If you drop it, it doesn't matter. It does not care. I have dropped it already. You pick it up, you keep going. It has an active suspension for off-roading. I mean, 8-gallon tank? What the hell? They have this. This is a unique thing about it. I thought this. So basically, this is the kill switch. You push it down here, and it's almost like the Lamborghini start switch, right? Where the fighter jet, they call it. You put it up, and yes, it does have a very slow starter. Ducatis are notorious for that. Keep on going. We got to take a right here because this trail ends if you go to the left. Look at that turning radius. Like, it's just so good. The fit and finish of this bike, I mean, it's remarkable. It's so good. We got some downed trees here from the hurricane that we just had, if you can even call it that. I don't think it really was a hurricane by the time it got to us, but got another vehicular device up ahead. Thank you, brother. The downhill riding here with some, I mean, you can hit this stuff way faster than you could in basically any typical vehicle. And again, that is largely thanks to the active suspension and the alright, there's only so much the suspension can soak up, but you know, largely due to that, traction control and the ABS are all really, really impressive. So I'm not going to say I was wrong, right? Because for a long time, like I said, I've been against technology in motorcycles, but because they do have a place, right? The bikes with less technology, they do have a place. They definitely do. But for me, for what I'm looking for right now, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And I would say for a lot of people, this bike is going to really fit the bill of what they're looking for. I mean, I think a lot of the adventure bikes would. I would say my second choice, without a doubt, if I had not gone for this bike, would have been the Yamaha Super Tenere. You know, a few of the things that you're lacking on there, you're not getting the active suspension, you're not getting the 8-gallon fuel tank. But it's all stuff, you don't need it. It's still a really good bike. And, I mean, it's all a trade-off, right? Because then you're getting a bike with longer service intervals and that Yamaha reliability, which it's really hard to argue with that. So I don't think that, well, let me be clear. This is like nearly a $30,000 motorcycle brand new. And like I said, I got it for like $6,800, which is a tremendous deal. I don't think I would ever get the Honda CRF 300L again over this bike. For the stuff that I do, I would go for this bike every time. It's really that good. I mean, it handles what I want it to handle with ease. And I'm not trying to do anything crazy like the CRF 300L is capable of. And the extra stuff that I do get with this bike that I don't get on the CRF, like the excellent power on the highway. Basically, this is the bike that I can go anywhere, do anything with, and I'm gonna have a blast doing it. Does it do everything perfectly? No, but it does do a lot of stuff really, really well. I mean, impressively well. Forest, so nice riding out here. Just not many people out here. Nice and cool going into a fall here. Also, I mean, obviously riding with heated grips, a windshield, and this bike just sticks out to the side so much you basically cover your legs from wind too. You're gonna get way more of your riding season than you would many other bikes. Up this hill right here. let's see this. Yeah, I can't imagine if I would be going up this full 160 horsepower. Absolutely, you're insane. Just soaks up that bump like nothing. Like nothing. Be a great bike for camping, adventuring, doing any number of things. It is just a really impressive all-around package. Some people fishing over there. Stop. The spread of aquatic invasive species. Come on, neutral. There we go. Got it. You can also turn the bike on or off with this little fake key right here. Just turn it. There you go. Alright, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of my Ducati. Still feels really weird saying that.
I have Ducati, but it says it right there. It must be true. It has a little Italian flag right there. And I can tell you that I plan to be making way more videos with this motorcycle. And yeah, I mean, it's a cool bike. It's probably, you know, whatever's cool or not cool is all a matter of opinion when it comes to motorcycles. But to me, right now, this is by far the coolest motorcycle I've ridden in my entire life. And I'm really, really excited to ride it more. Thank you guys once again for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. If not, you do you. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section. I read each and every one. If you made it this far, it means that you were part of the 1% of people, according to YouTube analytics, who made it this far. So definitely drop a comment down below, mention that you're part of the 1%. And guys, I will see you in the next video. I'm gonna keep on riding here and ripping through the woods. You guys have a good one.